Hello everyone, my name is Brigid Ovelia Catjoa, or Heblaska Wion, which means Moose Medicine Woman. I am a Pleiadian priestess, master channeler, and Lakota druid, and I'm here today to provide my 20th channel transmission of the High Council of Telos. So thank you so much for being here, and if it's your first time joining for one of these transmissions, a very warm welcome, and welcome back to anyone who has joined for any of my other recordings. And yeah, I feel like let's just get right into it today. So I invite you, if you want to take a nice tall seated position, keeping your spine as straight and tall as is comfortable for you. If you have any health conditions or any pain, you're of course very welcome to lean against a chair or a wall, just staying as straight as is comfortable, and you can keep your legs crossed or your feet flat on the ground. And if you feel like lying down, that's welcome as well. And if at any point you feel like you are dozing off, if you're lying down or even seated, you may just be entering a deeper trance state, so that's all right as well. You'll still receive all of the information and all of the frequencies on a subconscious level. So I invite us just to start to observe our breath. No need to change it or to start breathing more deeply, just observing. Is it more shallow? Does it go down into your diaphragm? Is it going quickly or slowly? How long are you holding it? Just your natural breath in this moment. We're going to move into 3 slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when we breathe in, we want it to go as deep as we can, starting in our belly, our diaphragm, filling up then into our lungs, and then all the way up into our chest. I'm releasing in the opposite order from chest to lungs down into diaphragm. And we'll hold for just a moment between each breath. So just let go of all breath that's in your lungs and start to breathe in nice and slow through your nose. And hold for a moment and let out nice and slow. Hold for a moment. And again through the nose, even slower. Holding. Letting out even slower through the mouth. Holding, breathing in through the nose, a little slower. Take in a little bit more, fill up as much as you can. Holding, letting it out so slow. Really pushing all the air out. Holding. Starting to let air back in nice and slow. Just staying with those nice slow breaths in and out. And letting it be a little more natural. And if your eyes aren't already closed, just bringing them to a soft gaze. No need to force them closed. Just letting it happen naturally. As we continue these nice slow breaths in, invite us to tune into our heart spaces, into our heart centers. As we do that, I'll begin to channel. I open myself up as a divine and clear channel to the High Council of Telos with the intention of bringing 5D information and frequencies that will perfectly serve all those who are tuning in today. I'm ready. Thank you. Hello, Adama here today. A pleasure to connect with all of you again. Today I wish to talk about attachments and the different shapes and forms that they may take. Often in the human world, we know attachment might come up in the topic of relationships, of an intimate partnership, of how we relate to each other, and that there's a great deal of information around attachment styles such as anxious, avoidant, secure. But attachment can be to anything. It could be to an animal, to a type of food, to a habit, to a place, to an activity, to a friend, to a family member, to a type of weather, to an outcome, an expectation. It can be a really powerful attachment, like when it comes to an intimate relationship, perhaps it feels very difficult to detach and let go if there's what we might call a breakup or a significant change in a relationship, whether it's in a marriage or not marriage. Or perhaps if we've been living in the same place for 20, 30, 50 years, our entire lives, to then have to make a change and move somewhere else could feel astronomical and very emotional and evoke all sorts of feelings. Grief, fear, anxiety, uncertainty, perhaps excitement and joy. It's not necessarily always negative. It can make us question our identities, who we really are. Who am I without this person, without this place? Who will I be without my daily routines and how I interact and how I relate to this person or this house or this activity? Perhaps you have an injury or an illness and you're no longer able to use your body or your mind in the same way, or you can't participate in the same activities or care for yourself or another. Perhaps you were an athlete or a musician and an injury to your hand or your body prevents you from performing or playing in the same way. Perhaps you're not able to care for your children exactly how you wish you could. Perhaps you're used to being able to walk or move a certain way and you have to learn a new reality, a new way of being, to show up in a different way. Perhaps you're trying to grow in a relationship. Perhaps you recognize that there's a need for change and there's something unhealthy going on, an unhealthy dynamic, and over-reliance and over-dependence on the other person for your well-being, for your identity. And even within a relationship, that can be very challenging. We can remain in the same patterns. Perhaps we're repeating consciously or unconsciously how our parents related to each other, or grandparents, or how we saw other people, significant adults in our life, whether directly or in the media. These patterns, these energies can be very deeply ingrained, and at its core, all attachments, when we have trouble detaching or changing or letting go, at its core is actually always about our disconnect from our truest selves, from our highest selves, from Source. And as always, the many other words people may use, the sounds, to identify with this energy, whether it's Chi, universe, God, goddess, goddess, Wankantanka, Satchidananda, Allah, the cosmos, spirit. It's when we're disconnected from this energy, this truth of who we are, and we're more connected and identified with our physical forms, or how we show up in the world, or how we relate, or our activities, the things that create our personalities, our unique expressions on earth. That's where the suffering comes from. It's the identification, the expectations. We are all meant to express our unique souls, our paths, our journeys in life, whether we're living in Telos, or we're a Pleiadian, or a human, or an animal, or some other form or spirit, or a tree. It is perfectly beautiful to maintain that expression and to explore it and to play with it, and we fully encourage and do that also here in Telos. And yet when we maintain our connection with the greater consciousness, with the Source consciousness, then it does not become so intense or debilitating or challenging or serious, when something that we are very identified with or connected to changes or isn't going how our minds may have anticipated it or wanted it, or perhaps our wills try to create or even force into existence. It is a dance. And as we embrace this dance and bring a little bit more lightness to it, and welcome in the frequencies and the experience of faith and trust and flow and allowance and surrender, to let go and let God, as some may say, to flow with our souls and all that is reflected back to us and shows up in life, and welcoming in and calling in that ease. Then when things change or they're not how we expected, then really it won't feel like such turmoil or like such a problem. It just is. Perhaps we may even see something in the world that we want to change because we feel it will better the world, better someone's life, make reality better. Even in those moments, we're looking at a reflection of something that's within ourselves. And again, the invitation is always to come back within and to sit and to connect with Source, connect with our divinity, connect with the truth, and ask, what is this showing about me? What is this reflecting? What needs to change in me? What needs to be loved and accepted? So this thing that I'm rejecting or seeing outside of me, perhaps some shadow aspects, some conflict, something not going my way, how can I bring that back to myself? What more love can I give myself, my true self, being of Source, the love of Source, of creation. As we sit with that, I will invite Aurelia back. She was with us gratefully for the transmission last time, and she will provide us some integrative and supportive light language to connect us with our Source selves. Thank you. My name is Aurelia, and I'm very grateful to be of service to provide these frequencies and these activations. May they resonate in your heart with so much love, the love of creation. May you always feel connected with these energies and these frequencies, so you may feel free and abundant from within. Bring love to all that you may experience and all that is reflected back to you. Thank you. Adama here again. Thank you. Thank you, Aurelia. I I'm so grateful to our community here, supporting each other. I'm so grateful to all who show up for these transmissions to receive them. With all the love in my heart, I say thank you, and I look forward to joining you again next time. Thank you. Brigid here. I'm back. I invite us to just sit with those energies for a moment. If you wish to stay in meditation longer, or if you'd like to join me in coming back to our bodies a little bit, observing our breath again, tuning into the sounds around us, feeling the sensation of our clothes or the surface that we're on, wiggling our toes and fingers gently, starting to bring a little bit of movement back to the body. We want to give it a nice big stretch up and above. A yawn might come out. I'm gonna rub my hands together and bring them slowly to my eyes and opening them gently to the warmth. And just starting to brush down my face and my head, my eyes open, brush down my arms, my legs, my feet a little shake. Coming back, looking around the room if you like. It's a nice little short, sweet transmission today with Adama and Aurelia. Very grateful. Yeah, really appreciating always the beautiful energies that come through these transmissions, and the reminder is no matter what is showing up in our lives, what we're identifying with, we can always come back to the truth and to love, no matter what. Even in the most dark and difficult moments, we can move through those and remember the truth. And even that is an expression of Source. Deserves love. To honor all of our emotions, all of our experiences, and yeah. Thank you for being here, for you, and for the world. Kasakamati, ometeo, metakiriase, wopila. A lot of ancient and traditional gratitude there, and acknowledging all is our relations. Sati Zananda, and until next time, much love.